I love how chatty she is. She talks back, it's great. Did I take away your spider friend? I'm sorry. Our army numbers are looking worrying, Your Grace. We need to call and muster as many villagers as possible. Maybe they are just peasants, but as long as they can throw rocks, they'll be useful. That's true. Hopefully we can defend the castle successfully. I've told the villagers that you wanted to see them regarding the call to arms. They should be here shortly. Hello again, Your Grace. Why did you call for me? Will you join my army? The war with the town is close at hand. We need to build up our defenses. You can count on all of our community, Your Grace. I knew you were going to ask. We've already started preparing. Be ready. The battle starts in 11 weeks. +6, not bad. I run a little business, Your Grace. I can exchange your supplies for gold. No, you are nuts. Bye. Here, your treasury. My treasury's fine. I have something to show you regarding our child, darling. Visit me in the bedchamber when you can. Of course, Aurelia. Your Grace, I'm afflicted with an itching sickness. My face is itchy. My legs are itchy. Well, you get the idea. Can't stand it. However, I've heard that the touch of a king can cure all manner of ailments. How about it, Your Grace? Will you use your kingly powers on me? No. I can't possibly cure you by touching you. You better leave before we all catch this disease. Oh, I suppose kings aren't all they are made out to be then. Farewell, Your Grace. Your Grace, I hope I find you well. Welcome to the castle, Pastor. I come to ask a favor of you. The community has decided it's time to upgrade our town, Calavret. The one in the market is small, old, and barely standing. We thought of fixing it up, but it's better just to build a new one. We can use this opportunity to do it properly this time. The community has already gathered a large sum of gold, and supplies to help fund it. It's not quite enough to cover the labor. We need to mine the stones and bring them from the mountain. Our mason said he can carve out the pattern in that. If we can have a new cull of rat in the center of the market, that will bring more people around. The community will feel happier and safer. We would need 25 gold. I'll send the general. Yep, great. Send the general. I can't go and get anybody today, but... Oh, I hope it's a boy. It would be great for Davern to have an heir. Eric, this is Delilah, a local witch. I think there's a way to lift the curse. Do you want to explain, Delilah? Your Grace, with your permission, we could perform a ritual that will lift the curse that's been placed upon you. Curse? I thought that was just a humbug. From what I've heard from Queen Aurelia, it does indeed sound like you've been hexed. Your poor health, misfortune, no heir. Indeed. I can't help with all of these things, but I think I can be of use regarding the most important matter here. A rightful heir. Tell me more about the ritual. What's it all about? The ritual is completed, and we will need you to be there, Your Grace. Complicated. We will be asking good spirits to act in our favor. You will need to repeat the incantation after me and occasionally help. What's the risk? The ritual doesn't exactly shout safe to me. What's the risk? Is it going to be painful? It can be, but I will be mostly under the spell. Not entirely here, with you, although my body can show signs of pain. Indeed. Queen Aurelia's spirit won't be in her physical body, so she won't feel anything. What's the chance? Is the heir certain? There is risk, as always in these matters. The ritual will need to be performed perfectly in order for it to work. But as long as you help us, the chances for a boy are very high. Certain almost. I think that's enough. Let's do it! I think we should do it. For the ritual to happen, I will need to gather several ingredients. The list is long, but most things I can obtain myself. The more exotic elements I will need your help with, Your Grace. What do you require? We will need to make a brew that will help Queen Aurelia leave her body. We need a special kind of mushroom. It is a distinctive, vibrant blue. It likes to grow in damp places. I'm sure you can find one around the castle. We will also need the herb of grace, or simply rue, if you prefer. The strong smell will remind the queen whilst under the spell of where she is and what is happening. It will also drive evil spirits away. You won't get it from any merchant. The smell puts off customers wanting to buy other wares, so you'll need to find one yourself. I'll mark on your map where your agents are likely to find it. Tell them to look for bluish leaves with yellow flowers. We also need 2 vials of betony oil. It has the effect of easing pain, so these will be a gift for the old spirit. 1 mugwort oil, also known as women's sage. A gift for the spirit of the grown woman, helps with the cramps. Traveling merchants may often have such oils among their wares. And most difficult to get will definitely be the basilisk egg, and we need 2. Basilisks. Don't be surprised, even monsters want to have heirs, so they lay eggs. The problem is, people usually prefer to get rid of these creatures and not keep their young around. Many people walk through your halls. I'm sure there will be someone strange enough to offer these, so worry not, your grace. The basilisk eggs will serve as a gift to the spirits. 1 for the young one, and 1 for the grown lady. We need 2, so they hopefully get the hint. One last thing. I would recommend that you find yourself a spellbook. I thought you'd be the one casting spells. Yes, but the good spirits will want to hear some of the incantations from the Father's mouth. The book is called Performance of Rituals, Curses, and Healing by Jerko Zaremba. He's a renowned scholar and in the field of alternative medicine. Make sure you read it if a copy falls into your hands. Very well then. When will you be ready? Magic is involved, of course, but we are still dealing here with delicate matters. We'll need to wait for the fetus to develop. Don't worry, Eric. I will be ready before Atana arrives at our gates. I can feel it. It's just up to you to repel the enemies. Good lord. Okay. That's a lot. Oh, the ritual. That's all. Okay. Okay. I know where to get the blue mushrooms. Grab a mushroom. Great. About the ritual, bright blue mushrooms. I think I found these. This is what Delilah meant. We had some growing in the dungeon. Yes, I knew I'd seen them somewhere. It's all great. Alright, great. Anything else? No? Okay, great. End the week. Carrie. $24, right. And no, you know what? We'll just leave that. We have 5, which is awesome. Carrie, don't tell me it's still in there. I killed it. Don't tell me there's another one. Your Grace, I've helped the builder man. His vertebrae were twisted. I managed to put them back into place. That's amazing, thank you. It's no problem. Your Grace, I've just returned from the forest. And I found the mud bugs, but there was no sign of the lost son. The peasants seemed to bear it well. I also found a big stash of gold. I gave some of the gold to the peasant so he wouldn't be upset about his lost son. I've brought the rest to you. Your Grace, our village has recently been It's gone, right, Care? Care? You're freaking me out, girl, by still playing around in the bag. Our village has recently been acquired by Lord Grego. It used to be under the command of Lady Masha. But now, both the lords are taking taxes from us. They're sending soldiers to collect money every week, and we can't say no to them. We've been paying double tax for weeks. We tried talking to the lords, but they ignore us. Please help, Your Grace. Yeah, take the gold, it's fine. Alright, I'll take the gold to the village. I had the gold, why not? Ah, blast it all. My potatoes were stolen again. I'm sure someone is hiding an étoile in their home. How else would you explain that my potatoes keep disappearing? My grain, too. That bloody village. I should have moved there. Would one of your hunters help us find out who's hiding? Alright, fine. The beasts aren't easy to catch, but my hunter will do his best. Thank you. Well, if only I could find out who's keeping it, I'll tan their hide. Grace, we found the Radovian king, the monster himself. We gave him a bit of a beating for what he did to our brothers. You did well. Got what he deserved and more to come. Eric, finally I get the chance to talk to you. How many years has it been? I was afraid you would come one day. I didn't expect you to arrive as the king with an army. Of course not. What are the chances that a common thug would go after a king? But I managed anyway. You took heavy losses, but your army was dismantled. There isn't a happy ending for you. But before I send you off to the headsman, tell me. Your men killed people. They robbed and raped. We're not all the same. Must have been men from the other camps. Did I mention we were at civil war? These men did the same in my home country. These are men we ran away from. Rodovia is divided, and we can't all be tarred with the same brush. The promise. 13 years ago, when you attacked us and put your blade against my throat, you must have known I wouldn't be able to keep my promise. You must have known I would have said anything for you to let us go. I was a different man back then. I was robbing travelers, never thought I would run into royals on the trail. When opportunity arises, I guess one can get nifty ideas. Of course I knew you would not keep your promise, but it gave me a spark of hope. Marrying a daughter from a royal family would mean Rodovia had a shot at success on this side of the world. Having royal blood would mean acceptance from others. I didn't think we'd be honored guests straight away, of course, but I had hoped it would be enough to let us leave. But our cursed lands, at least. Why are you here? Why did you come to Davern so suddenly? Rodovia is engulfed in civil war. We have at least 2 madmen fighting over resources. Our soil isn't like yours. It's dark, hard. Plants don't want to grow like they used to. I offered a solution. Come to the mountains to find a new home. Cross the mountains. Some laughed, some chose to come along. How'd you become king? Last we met, you were abandoned on the roads. How does one go from a thief to a king? King. That's a bit of an exaggeration, to be fair. It doesn't quite work like that on our side of the mountains. Some people chose to follow me, is all. They said I gave them hope. Not everyone gets swaddled in royal silk as a baby. Some have to work for it, and that's what I did. There was a witch with you back then. She cursed me if I didn't keep to the promise. Sorry about that. Aggie, she has a tendency to throw curses on people left and right. I wouldn't worry too much about it. Aggie liked to use this curse a lot. Never worked. Battle was fierce. You gave us a welcome party. That was quite a welcome party you gave us for sure. When we were crossing the trail, we didn't want to fight. You left us no choice. We used whatever we had at hand. Surprisingly, we did quite well. You definitely had surprising battle tactics. I'm curious about... Let me get off the ground. That's better. Fire away. Tell me about the fog. Was it magic? Like I said, we don't want to cause any harm. The smoke's a common incense. We hoped using a large amount would mask the passage. Naive of me to have thought that the smoke would last long enough for us to get through. I'd hoped that by the time it cleared, we would all be gone. When we realized the smoke was about to vanish, we had to take on a different tactic. That was when we circled your men. The huge monsters certainly brought a lot of havoc with them. Oh, you mean the transit bisons? I realize that these mammals are quite rare in your part of the world. They're big, strong. We normally use them for transporting goods. But it turns out when properly motivated with a strong whip hand, they can act as pretty good cavalry. I've never seen such fire magic. What was it? You mean fire flowers? We use them to welcome the new year. As nice as it may be to watch them, we've also had quite a few incidents with fire spreading out of control. I thought those drawbacks could work in our favor for once. That device nearly decided our fate. We have some creative minds on our side. The moment the battle started, the men tried to come up with something that would get us through. I thought that the damn thing was a trap for whoever was inside, but there were plenty of volunteers. We let them loose and it seemed like it worked. I suppose the element of surprise did the trick. I've heard enough. I knew I had no other choice. You would do the same for the ones you love, wouldn't you, Eric? Let me go and I promise we won't cause any more trouble. I don't want your daughters. Your Grace, please remember that Bayron is a Radovian. If you let him go, King Yendrik might not decide to help us. But if you sentence him to die, King Fabian will not help us. You will be executed. Your people did deeds you'll have to be punished for. You and your men shouldn't have come. It couldn't end any other way. I don't want your daughters. I don't want your wealth. The common people have more courage in their hearts and more sense in their heads than the royal crown. Us. We always imagine the 7 kings to be righteous, to know better than other men. To see past mere titles, lineages, or one's origin. But you're no different from the oppressors on our side of the mountain. You're a thug with a crown, that's all. Shut your mouth. You can have a chat with the executioner. Alright, let's send the witch somewhere. The witch... Oh, I needed... Rue location. Yes, let's send the witch. Witch sent. 2 weeks? It just said 1! Rude, okay. My men found Bayron. I've just spoken to him. He tried to trick me into thinking he was a good man. He was blabbing about how they never intended to go to war with us. As if I would believe him after all he's done. That was probably the only thing he could have done to try to save himself. He came up with excuses for all their weapons, telling me that they weren't at all prepared. They almost won. They had to be prepared. He would have definitely told you otherwise if they had won. I sent him to the headsman. I'm glad you did that. I wouldn't want to see his face again. It'll all be fine now, sweetheart. He said that the witch used that curse on many people. Apparently it never worked. Eric, that's great news. I'm not sure. I couldn't tell if he was just lying to save his own life. Oh, what are we going to do? It's your decision, honey. We're going to go ahead with the ritual. I don't want to risk that curse befalling us. Fine, but remember you can always change your mind, alright? Of course, sweetheart. Okay. I don't know why that's still there, that's all. We want to bring a very healthy baby into the world. Of course. It seems like no matter how much I rest, I'm always tired. I'll just sit here. Well, you know, making another human life will do that. Alright. End the week. Alright. Let's add 2 more. Unlike the first time, the first battle, I feel good about this one. We already have more supplies than it said we needed, and we still have 10 weeks left. I want to try to fill this whole fucking thing. Your Grace, I've tried... Jesus, Cedani! I tried to help the church with moving the stone from the mountain to the village. Unfortunately, we couldn't do it. The horses were too weak to pull the cart. We couldn't carry them by hand either. Thank you for letting me know. I think the pastor's going to visit you about this. I've tried looking everywhere, but no sign of the rue herbs, Your Grace. I guess it would be best to try another location. Okay. Your Grace, the hunter has helped me track down the mud bugs in the swamps. He hasn't found their nest, but at least he managed to slay one of the dolts. And also, you wouldn't believe this, he found gold hidden in the swamps. In fact, so much of it I wanted to share it with you. Take this as a thank you, Your Grace. I knew the rumors were true. I'm not crazy after all. What about your son? Oh, my son. Yes. He just came back home. Haha. Just appeared like that. It must be the god's fate. I must be in the god's favor these days. Cedani! You've really outdone yourself this time around, young lady. A bear? Really? Isn't he the best? It's too dangerous. A bear will grow and it will grow fast, not a chance. But I already named him! Yotek! He can help us get Larsulia back! Father, please let me keep him. He's my best agent to date. He won't do any harm. How did you get him? I left food leftovers in the gardens. One day he was there. food in the gardens? I wonder why there's always such a mess lately. Is this how you attract all these animals, Cedani? Well, I had to gain their trust somehow. Surely this is not a good idea. Audrey? Bears are friendly and generally not dangerous if they're used to humans. If he ever becomes dangerous, we can always get rid of him. See, he's harmless. To us, but not the enemy. I will train him. Why, Woltek? It doesn't sound like you. I'm done with the silly names. I'm all grown up now, so the bear gets a grown-up name. I think he likes it. I think that's enough. What do you say then, Father? I mean, Your Grace. Can Woltek stay with us? Audrey said it would be okay. I trust Audrey. He can stay, but if something happens, I'll get rid of him myself. You won't have to, I promise. Come on, Woltek, I'll show you around. I better talk to Aurelia. Your Grace, I beseech you. Our granary has been destroyed by a mudslide. Can you please give us some assistance? I'll send a general. Alright. Jesus fucking Christ on a bike. Go to the relocation. Send the witch. I really should be spending these to send them to my allies. I honestly, though, I feel like I'll be fine. I do feel like I'll be fine. Have you seen Cedani, honey? She came to see me earlier. I haven't seen her. Why? Oh, well, don't be mad. Oh no, what's she done now? You know what she's like. She's been looking for a new animal friend ever since Luli left. I think she overdid it this time, but I don't have the heart to tell her no. Eric, what is it? She brought a bear cub into the castle. What? Are you out of your mind? This is dangerous. This is not happening. Hey, calm down. It's just a cub. He's not dangerous at all. He might be nice and cute now, but wait till he grows up. Well, we will have guards keep an eye on him. At least until after the battle, then we'll see what happens. Fine, but if anything goes wrong, nothing's going to happen, I promise. Your Grace. Arg. I know I let you keep the bear, but you really ought to be very careful. And I'm not joking. If something happens, you run straight to me, you hear me? Nothing's going to happen. Cedani? Yes, Your Grace. I will come straight to you. Father? Yes? I found this book. It's about bears. Can I borrow it? Of course you can, silly pickle. Take any book you'd like. I will ask Danica to read it to me later. Oh. The book was called Performance of Rituals, Curses, and Healing. ABC, it's not here. Ah, here it is. Performance of Rituals, Curses, and Healing. Oh, I already had it. Fantastic. I was honestly most worried about the book of everything, so I'm glad that we just had it. Alright, about the ritual, other items, the book. I think this is the one. I have to say, this book doesn't sound very convincing. It's going to be fine. All you need to do is remember the incantation. The rest you can ignore. Okay. I hope it don't. Alright, that's all in the day. Or the week. Alright, so let's give 20 more. Whoops, not that many more. There we go. Oh, look at our resources saved. I feel so good about this. I found the Herb of Grace. The smell was so strong it was easy to locate. Here it is. Thank you. I've successfully found the H.W.R. in the village, Your Grace. Oh, it was real. I must report that it turned to nothing but ashes as I made the final blow. Your Grace, thank you very much for the help you've offered. Sadly, we were unable to move the stones into town. They were simply too heavy. The wheels of the cart kept breaking, because the path to town is very rocky. The horses eventually started fainting from overexertion. We had to stop and leave the stone in the middle of the road. We would move it if we had a better cart and more horses. Fortunately, we already used up all the resources that we had. Would there be any way the kingdom could support us in this difficult situation? Yeah, okay. If you started building the Calaveret, it needs to be finished. It's very generous. I'll let everyone know immediately. Thank you. May the gods have you in their favor. Your Grace, my village was plundered by some animals in the night. I would have expected wolves, but all the meat was left intact. Just herbs and roots were gone. Some say they've seen something that resembles a hare. Only bigger, uglier. It seems like a Jaros could be around. No one has the guts to track him. I would have, but I'm not stupid. They tend to lure people into the swamps and they never come back. I have a family, I can't risk leaving them. Perhaps one of your hunters. Sure. Hunter will find the demon. 3 weeks? That's not what it said. Good call you didn't follow that Jaros. They can be dangerous. Thank you, Your Grace. I'll tell my wife that our kids will be safe at night. And they can be dangerous. Phew, I wasn't a chicken, after all. My Grace, we're preparing for the burning and drowning of Marzana. To welcome the spring. Our villages, Brune, Waitru, and Branca, hold the annual contest every year for the best Marzana. Oh, I know. Perhaps the king himself would like to judge which Marzana would be best. Why not? I can do that. We'd be honored to have you, Your Grace. Anyways, there was something else I came here to ask for. We've had a very bad year. I was wondering if you could spare us some of the resources to build the best Marzana out there. 20 supply. It's symbolic, just use hay. I'm sure you can gather some flowers from the fields and some hay and it'll be fine. But then we won't win the contest, Your Grace. Maybe you can win next year. Oh well. Alright. God, I have a lot of places to visit still. I didn't help with the double tax. So I need you to explore that location. Stomachache I didn't help with. I don't remember if I attacked that. Side business, I think I helped with that. Right, so what are you now? I need the basilisk eggs. About the ritual, the herb of grace. The stuff smells awful. No wonder no one wants to deal in it. Yes, this is it, huh? Other items. Oh, then the oils. Okay. Hope it'll all work out. So we seem to be doing well. And that's pretty much everything. Alright, so let's end the week. Okay, so we have 33, so let's do that. Perfect. Okay, we have 8 weeks until the siege. We kind of are looking good for, we're looking very good for resources. We have significantly more than it told us we needed. I'm thinking we can definitely fill that whole bar up. We're not doing too well on allies, but the next 8 weeks I'm going to really try to double down on that. So I think that's all the time I have for today right now, but I will be back soon. So thank you everybody so much for watching. I've been Rael. I'll see you next time. Bye!